Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I apologize for the late start, but you are now here and ready to watch episode 47 of the Seregen campaign. Of course, I'm the Wombat of DM, but I'm not the person you're here to see. Let's talk about the people you're here to see. I'll let you introduce yourselves.
Hello, I am the Banewall, and I will be Belzian Gilcus, the monk, today. But I am here to see Wombat. I think Wombat's super worth watching.
I'm Hemidus, and I'm playing Roger Mays, the Wood Elf Assassin. And I am also here to see Wombat, as he is the only one with his webcam on.
Hi, I'm Shade, and I'll be playing Ulrich, the human paladin. And I just like to stare in his eyes.
Yarvik will not be with us tonight, but he is our halfling ranger.
And I'm Atomic. I'm Zippo, the Kobold Sorcerer, and I would stare into the eyes, but I'm too busy staring at dragons, possibly.
Awesome. Well, thank you for introducing yourselves, everyone. We are getting a little late because we had a little bit of delays in some of our party members being here or not being here, and but we are here and ready to go now. So I guess the first thing to do is talk about last session, as always. So ultimately, last session was we got to the town or the city of Ildren, the Bronze Dragon Clan capital. There were some hijinks in town, some close calls in terms of being guests of honor in a meal at a dragon's house. Not in the way that the party really would have liked to have been the guests of honor, but they ended up staying at a place called the Broken Axe. Zippo met a large dragon called Cognite, and the party kind of made a plan for what to do next, which was basically head up to the top of the mountain that the capital is built on, to a place called the Echelon. The Echelon is a palace made of a complex of buildings, in which, among other dragons, is the leader of the Bronze Clan, known as Rift. Basically, the party spoke with him for a bit, explained what their mission was, and Rift basically gave them guidance that the only way for them to talk to the council to try and broker peace is to become one of the clans. So now they are in a test to join the Bronze Dragon Clan. Rift's kind of last words before the party entered is to think like a bronze dragon when going through this trial. And they went down into it and found themselves face to face with a black dragon in chains, chained against the far wall. And that's where I will leave it to our trusty party.
Zipper, I feel like that might be. This is more your area expertise. Make sure this friend doesn't kill us.
Yeah, at Interconic, Zippo will be like, "Hi, friend. What are you doing down here?"
So the dragon has turned and looked at the five of you as you've entered, and kind of is looking at each of you in turn. Zippo, when you address it, it turns its head toward you. You notice that there's some sort of bit in its mouth that's strapped to the chains. The dragon seems to have something blocking it from being able to open its mouth fully.
Ah, yes. Makes sense. Makes sense. Can you nod your head at least?
The dragon kind of snarls. It tries to utter a word, but doesn't manage to make anything out that you recognize.
Blink once for yes, blink twice for no.
That's what I was about to do with Snarls. Are you part of the Bronze Clan? I suppose, like, looking on his arms and stuff, CBC's like the Bronze Clan tattoos anyway.
There is some tattoos on his arms that are plainly visible, but they do not look like the Bronze Clan. They're a silver outline with a black interior, and they are draconic markings that spell out the word prismatic.
So are you from the Black Clan?
The dragon continues to kind of bare its teeth.
Maybe it's part of the charismatic clan.
Seems unlikely with what kind of responses we're getting.
Yeah.
By the way, Atomic, I don't know if you're looking for responses based on what Roger said, but Roger doesn't speak Draconic, so if you're looking for it to blink, that hasn't been like instructed yet.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Zippo kind of forgets sometimes that he's talking to Draconic here. He's just speaking naturally. So he'll be like, oh, and in Draconic, he'll repeat the blink thing. Blink once for yes, twice for no. Does it blink?
It blinks, yeah.
Okay. All right. I think it's on the same page with us. What questions do you want me to ask?
Ask it if it knows Leet or any of the other dragons that we've met recently.
Good point. And Zippo started down his list of dragon friends. Like, do you know any of these names? Okay. Do you know why you're locked down here? Okay. Have you been here for all the other people that have tested in this to join the clan, or? Okay, that's 3 times. I'm gonna think that's a maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him if, sorry, do you understand common? Alright, ask him if we can go to the next room freely.
Okay. Ulrich wants to know if we can go to the next room freely. Okay, that's another maybe. Real fast, you do know how to count, right? Okay, I'm just making sure. Numbers were hard for me at first too. I understand.
I mean, maybe you asked this. I do apologize since I don't know Draconic, but is he down here as a form of punishment?
I asked if he knew why he was down here, but he said no. I think.
He said yes.
Did he say yes?
He blinked once.
Oh. Okay.
But I mean, specifically as a form of punishment.
Yeah. Are you down here because you did something bad, or? Okay. So, did you do something bad according to your laws or according to the Bronze Clan laws?
That's not a yes or no question.
Yes for Bronze Clan, no for your laws.
Will you harm us if we remove that bit from your mouth?
I'm gonna assume he's gonna lie on that one.
No, that was a big yes. He just said.
Well, let's see here.
I'm confused about this blinking thing. Ask it if it is not saying yes.
Looking at like the situation we're in, is he chained to the wall, like physically to the wall, or is he chained like we get close enough and we're in like his area type deal? Like he's not completely chained back up against the wall. He's just kind of chained, and the chains lead to the wall.
He's secured to the wall, but you're not sure how much of a lead there might be on it or how much he could reach, being that he's pretty big.
Gotcha. Okay. 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 Well, boys, what do we think? What do we think?
Well,
Do we have a bag of holding? I think we do, right?
I mean, what's your thought process there?
Thought process. Polymorph him into a cat, throw him in the bag of holding.
And when the polymorph wears off,
He's still in the bag of holding.
I mean, okay, but forgive me, Zippo, but I don't think he can survive in a bag of holding.
Yeah, we have been instructed to act in a manner of the Bronze Clan. Like, what would the Bronze Clan do? When we got here, none of those dragons turned us into a cat. At least
Fair
not
enough.
yet.
Fair
So
enough.
it might be a little too hostile.
Fair enough. But I also don't know if we should let him too, though. He doesn't seem to. He said a lot of maybes, you know. So
Sure.
What's the worst that could happen? Like, he could, like, breathe some kind of horrible breath all over us? I don't think so.
no, that sounds pretty bad.
Right.
Why don't we search around the room here for things other than him? That might be interesting.
okay.
Maybe tell him we'll be just a moment.
We're gonna look around the room, buddy. Just give us a second.
Uno momento, por favor.
All right. Who's looking for what?
It's been a while out of character.
Mhm.
Can we just get the actual description of the room again?
Sure, of course. Predominantly, the room is pretty much taken up by this chained dragon on the opposing side. Behind you is a door in a circular pattern. If you remember those rocks that were kind of fitted, you described it as kind of a gear shape with a huge stone disc that you pushed in and then slid to the side, and then it restored back in place after you came through. The rest of the walls seem to be bare. There seems to be slits in the upper part of the ceiling, but you can't see through them. You can just see that they are kind of small lines with a little bit of gap. Air could probably pass through them. It's a high ceiling. Probably about 20 feet tall.
About how big is this dragon compared to some of the other dragons we've seen?
Comparable to the dragon you saw at the tavern. It's gargantuan size. It's
Very big.
yeah. It's taking up 20 feet of space across the 30-foot wall, and its snout extends out about 10 feet from the wall. It's kind of should be taking up a 20 by 20 foot square, but it's kind of cramped up against the wall. because it's restrained.
It does seem like this poor fellow doesn't have very many amenities to allow a comfortable stay here. Did anyone bring a giant pillow or anything?
Afraid not, but
Zippo, ask him if he knows the way for us to get past this room.
My friends want to know if you know the way for us to get past this room. Doesn't seem like he wants to answer that.
Sorry, did you ask him a question?
Yeah, I asked him. I said my friends want to know if you know the way to get past this room for us.
Just gives you a long stare.
Guys, I have an idea.
all
And
right.
we're gonna call the polymorph bag of holding idea Plan B. Okay. Plan A, and this one is the big brain plan. He's actually a a bronze clans member in disguise, set down here for test takers. So we just walk past him.
Is he blocking a doorway?
Yeah, we don't know that there's actually a door on the other side of him, do we?
No, but I don't see any other exits. Looking at the chains, does it look like there's a spot that we could easily like unchain him from, or
No. The chains are situated in a way where they kind of hang in a off of a rung from the ceiling that kind of pulls both of its arms tight against the wall and pulls his neck forward so it's extended. So he's kind of like pinned. Almost like a hog tie, but like I can't really picture a dragon hogtied, you know?
yeah. So there's like, is there room to walk underneath of him?
No, he's like pinned against the ground
Okay, gotcha.
and the wall. So like his wings are pinned back and his arms as well, while his neck is hyperextended forward. He looks uncomfortable.
Okay. Zippo's going to like he's gonna look to us probably. Do I try to climb on him? I think I do, boys.
Sure.
And then Zippo's gonna go over, like walk towards him, and try to like climb on him. See if he can figure out a way to get around.
When you approach him, his muscles twitch and he kind of attempts to like reach out at you with its claws, its wings, and its snout as it strains against the chains toward you.
Okay. So he's aggressive, boys.
Feel free to move your character, by the way.
I'm not on the
I
map.
don't think this one is like any other play structure you've ever seen. So be wary, friend.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
we're
setting
not
up.
on the map. Got it.
Try it.
Yeah.
Zippo.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Zippo tries it.
What are you trying?
Once Zippo moves up to him, Zippo's going to like see what he thinks the best spot to be climbing onto would be. And I'm assuming the lowest part to the ground would be his head.
Yes.
Okay. Zippo's gonna try to climb on to like the side of his head.
Okay. And what's your purpose here?
My goal is to try to like climb onto him to see if I can either see a way to like loosen the chains to let us see if there's a door behind him first, and then see if there's a way for me to like loosen the chains enough for the party to get past, or if it's like I have to release him completely in order to get to the whatever's behind him if there is something behind him.
Okay. You can plainly see the wall behind the dragon. Even though it's taking up a lot of space, you can see the wall along the far wall. You don't see any evidence of an opening, door, or otherwise. It seems to be just you, the party, and the dragon. Can I get an insight check now that you're closer?
13.
Okay. Being that you've come from such a hostile culture, shall we say, now that you're closer, you kind of see this. It reminds you of some of the punishments your clan has done for, clan members who have broken laws or done something wrong. This strikes you as the pose of someone who's about to be executed.
Gotcha. Yeah, once I realize that, I'll let the party know that in common. Like, this reminds me of back home whenever we'd have to execute people. This is the pose we put them in.
Yeah,
dear.
neck exposed does imply that.
Maybe Rift sent us down here to do the dirty work. I don't know.
I mean, all right, I guess. It'd be nice if we knew what his crimes were, but I guess the point is, Rift was pretty clear about the fact that we serve the clan. If we're gonna join the clan, we serve the clan, and it's kind of a unquestionable thing. It was also pretty clear about, well, a clan member can't attack another clan member, but I guess
Well,
this dragon is not part of this clan.
his says prismatic. If my thinking is correct, if I remember back home, I'm pretty sure prismatic means like the non-metal colored dragons.
Okay.
I would assume he's
So-
not of the bronze clan.
Right. I mean,
Wait, the pickle. I wonder if they let us in the wrong room. Like that.
No, this is the right room. So the question comes: do we want to try to just go ahead and lop his head off, or do we want a bag of holding him?
We lop the head off into the bag of holding?
That's valid too.
I mean, it seems to me that lopping his head off is the intended execution.
It's the obvious approach.
So what would the Bronze Clan do?
While Zippo's on his head, by the way, the entire time Zippo's been up here, like on top of him, he's been like patting him, kind of
Okay.
like feeling all his scales and stuff.
Can you give me a roll 20 check, please?
Yeah, just one regular roll.
Yes, please.
15.
Okay. Something's bothering you, but you don't know what. Something just feels off. you have this nagging, sinking feeling as you're trying to, ride this dragon that is not very cooperative with you as you basically tried to approach it. So we never got to the fact that you got to its head because I gave you that insight check before.
You're cutting
You're
out,
cutting out.
Wombat.
Am I?
Yeah, you did that for a second. I think it's a Discord thing, not a mic thing, because mine was doing that the other day.
Can you hear me now? Am I good now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't really get to the point where you got on his head because you did the insight check, and kind of stopped and told the party what you saw. So you're trying to get on his head.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought I got it on his head, then got the insight check.
No. When you approached, you got it.
Gotcha. I'm going to press the dissertation, like the marks on his arm, to try to clean them to see if maybe it was like a cover-up type deal.
Okay. The marks stay.
Okay, so it wasn't like they tried to just mark these over his arm to make us think he was part of it.
No.
This is like there's the spot like where the marks are. Does the scales stay the same color?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the area you prestidigitation doesn't seem to have any effect on it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, should we do it?
Zippo's gonna hop back off.
You still haven't gotten on yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm misunderstanding. Sorry, my bad. Brain is working in like one direction here.
So yeah, I said you didn't get on. You're like, okay. So I prestidigitation the arms.
Gotcha. Sorry, brain is working in like a one direction type thing.
You're fine.
So is there, since I'm a small, is there like a spot I could crawl underneath of him, or is he like straight against the ground? Like there's no room underneath him at all?
He's pretty much flat against the ground as much as can be.
Okay. I was just making sure. Okay. Zippo's gonna give like the party the fact that he does something feels off, but he's not sure. So
Okay.
there's like
What
no
kind
way
of
to
bad
remove the
feeling
thing
is
from
it?
his mouth.
Before we do anything rash, there, Zippo, what kind of bad feeling is it? Like bad in your tum tum area, or like magic bad?
What kind of bad feeling is it again? Wombat? Like I just don't feel like something's going right here or something's wrong here.
You feel unclean.
Feel unclean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A sinking, icky feeling.
Had a bath for a while.
I'll press the digitation myself to clean myself.
Doesn't change anything.
Okay.
But you look great.
Unclean.
I think maybe we should ungag this fellow and see if he has anything to tell us. After we stand back a lot first.
Well, I think we're only gonna get so far back. Is there a way I could ungag him? Like, does the gag or the thing that's holding his mouth, does it look detachable, or is it tight with the chains as well?
Yeah, without breaking the chains, you probably wouldn't be able to ungag.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let the party know. We're probably not getting him to speak to us unless we break these chains. So, boys, what are we thinking?
I mean, I got an axe. He's got a neck.
Yeah, Ulrich and I are no stranger to executions. It's kind of a, is this what Rift wants us to do? Is this the intended solution to the test?
Guys, I just thought about it. We don't gotta break the chains. I could polymorph him, right? And then release the polymorph instead of putting him in the bag of holding. And that would free him from the chains.
Okay, but keep in mind, if Rift wants this guy dead, Are you gonna still be friends with Rift? Do you think Rift will be happy with you?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I've never been a decision maker, guys. I'm just kind of the killer, okay? I'm really good at hurting things. I'm not a decision maker here. I'm just
Yeah, the
really excited to
party
be with dragons.
the party is composed of a lot of people who are mostly just killers and not quite decision makers, myself included.
Alright.
Let's change that. And Roger will grab his sword and go to execute the dragon.
Okay. Tell me what you do. And move your character appropriately, please.
Um, oh, God. Hold up.
Picture his
Step.
head right here. Yeah.
Yep. We'll step over here and attempt to stab it in the heart because I don't have a chopping weapon. I have a stabbing weapon.
Okay. The dragon attempts to move its neck away from you and its body away from you, and struggles against the chains. And you stab it, make an attack.
$20, unless this counts as a thing that I should have advantage for.
You would have advantage, yes.
26.
Okay, you hit. Roll damage. And since this is your first attack in combat, wouldn't that be the assassinate?
Yes. Um,
Do you choose to use that?
yes.
Okay.
We are not the normal situation for using assassinate, but so damage once and damage twice. 27 and 28 in total. So 50 plus 5, 55.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, we got a raid coming in. Welcome, Jeepers and party. Welcome, everyone. We are in the middle of a combat. This dragon here just got stabbed by Roger, and we're gonna go from there. So, Roger, your sword sinks into the chest of the dragon, straight in, almost a little too easily, as the dragon puffs away in a puff of black smoke, revealing a door behind it.
Well,
Did
shall
he
we?
turn into a door?
I mean, presumably they don't have a dragon to kill every time someone's gonna come and join the clan, so.
Valid.
Just
It was an
magic.
illusion. Or something like it.
Ulrich proceeds into the next room.
Okay.
Yeah. I about to say I
We are
can't detect
dragon
magic.
slayers. Let's go.
Bane, would you like me to move your character for now?
Oh yes, sorry, I'm not at my computer. I
Yeah.
will be in 5 minutes.
Okay. You come to a new room. It's a T-shaped room. There are banners on the wall for the Bronze Dragon Clan here and here as the entranceway to this room. The three doors are similar to the door you saw before, where it was the kind of rounded door with the inlaid stonework and the round door. The round disc door that you have to push. Above each of the three doors, the leftmost one reads strength. The middle one reads skilled. And the rightmost one reads hardy.
Okay, so strength one I feel like might be Ulrich. Party members.
Why don't we just go through the one labeled party? We are a party.
I thought it was the party.
Is it hearty or is it party?
Hardy.
Hearty with an H. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Like, I'm feeling very hearty today. I had a hearty meal for breakfast.
Copy.
Yeah.
I've always preferred Carl Jr.'s. I know they're the same.
Oh, like how
Oh,
Rodney
boy.
stabbed in the Hardy.
Fair enough. Zippo is like, he's looking at the doors. He's like, all right, so problem here. I see Ulrich door, and he's pointing at the doors, and Ulrich door, and then door for most of the rest of the party. No offense, Ulrich.
Belzian's quite strong.
Yeah, I'm hardy as well, so
Belgian is
Belgian.
flexing. Maybe we could arm wrestle for it, Ulrich.
oh no, I think if I were to guess, I'm betting I'm hardier than you are, and you're plenty strong.
I'm okay with that assumption.
But is there a limit to like one person per door, or?
Well, let's
Well, we
open
need
them
to
and
find
find
out.
out.
Yeah.
I'll open the skill door, or I'll attempt to open the skill door.
Okay. So, Amethyst, you're looking at the skilled door. What are other people thinking of?
Ulrich will go hardy.
Okay.
I think was this one.
Belzy will go strong. Please move to appropriate door.
Okay. Zippo, which one were you thinking?
Zippo's really not too sure what door to go to, but I think he would. Let's see. Okay, looks like we're going to Hardy.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to do for Yarvik is Yarvik will be going through his own door at his own time, since he's not with us tonight. So he'll be choosing his own of the three and go separately. We can figure out why it is he's not going. Maybe he, yeah, and we can even talk to him about it some to figure out why his character's deciding not to go yet. But okay, so Yarvik basically says, guys, if you're going through these doors and something goes wrong, I want to be here to make sure that nothing happens here if all three doors are activated, like if you're coming back this way. So I'll hold down the fort here, and if you don't come back, I'll choose one of the doors. But that's kind of my thought process there. Cool.
Okay,
All
Hardy.
right.
All right.
Enjoy your sausage.
Yeah, he kind of sits cross-legged on the floor and starts kind of chilling out. All right. So Amethyst, you said that you were going to test your middle door first. The door is another disc-like door that needs to be pushed to be let in. So you go and push the door.
Sorry, I only caught a couple of words of what you said there. Could you repeat that?
Sorry, did Discord cut me off again?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do something real quick. One sec. Okay. I don't know if that'll help or anything, but I just turned it off and on again. Let me also just double check something on this side too. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, so Amethyst, you said that you wanted to push your door first. The door is a disc very similar to before. Do you try pushing on the door? Or am I cutting out again?
If it's a disc like before, I believe we had to rotate it.
Yes.
So I will attempt to open it by rotating it then.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Strength check. I thought this was the skill door. 3. Oh, sorry, 4.
4. Okay. You kind of tug at your door, and it doesn't seem to budge.
Nah, door's locked, guys. Apparently, I'm not skilled enough to enter.
Oh, well, would you like a hand? Or 2 hands? Or 2 hands and 1 foot?
Sure. I will
Hopefully
try
this door doesn't explode or anything if I walk away from it. Do-do-do-do-do. 2 become 1. Let's have some fun. Can I help Roger with the door?
Sure. Are you rolling for him or are you assisting him?
Your bonus is higher than mine. I should assist
Do you want to
you.
help me then? Okay. I will happily take your help.
Okay. Give me a roll, please.
It would be a 12.
A 12. The door doesn't seem to budge.
Yeah, I'm not helping very much.
Sure seems low.
By the way, you get an advantage when he helps, so you get to roll twice.
I'm still pulling. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the door doesn't seem to budge.
I forgot something over here.
Well, let's go through the first. Well, let's try Belsian's door then, the strength door.
Sure.
Let's try this door.
Okay.
I'll
Go ahead and roll.
Ooh.
You know you can take off that roll functionality. Okay, so you got a 20 and second one maybe higher.
I think it's just really slow.
It's a double 20. Okay. The door doesn't seem to budge.
Was I pushing or pulling?
You're kind of trying to turn it.
Oh, right. Yes.
All right. Well, let's try the Hardy door.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Is anybody helping you?
Zippo can try.
Okay.
Okay.
The door doesn't seem to budge.
Angered
Alright,
by the door not budging, Zippo looks at it and says, "Just open, Interconic."
The door doesn't seem to budge.
All right.
Sometimes violence solves everything. Can I attack the door with an unarmed strike?
You can try. All right. You hit the door and do 6 damage to it. It doesn't seem to do much damage at all. And you take 4 damage back.
Ouch.
Is there a way to pick a lock on this, Roger? You see any way around that?
You see any locking mechanism on our?
I mean, I'm not exactly
I'll search.
knowledgeable.
I'll search one of these doors for a locking mechanism that could, in theory, be picked.
Which do you choose?
We'll do the skilled door, because if any of them are likely to have it, it would be this one.
Fair enough. All right.
Investigation?
Yeah.
26.
Natural 20. Nice. You inspect the door, and it looks very similar to the door you just tried to help push. In fact, it looks exactly the same. It's got a star pattern where you can kind of grip at a spoke in that star to help you to turn the door in one way or the other. But you don't see anything further that might be a lock or anything like that. It just seems to be a simple stone disc, almost identical to the other door.
Maybe we gotta try to open all three at once.
Sounds reasonable. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, we do that.
All right. Who's pushing with each door?
Can I ask Yarvik to help me? Even if he's not going to go in?
Yeah, I guess.
Can we all push?
So the doors so we've got Belzian, Roger, and I assume Ulrich pushing.
Yep.
Okay. The doors open easily as the three of you push in unison. And the doors open, admitting each of you through into the next room.
All right. That's good.
Yarvik stays behind. The doors close immediately behind you. So I'm going to describe each. So don't move yet, because we're going to start with Roger, and we're going to go from there. I'll describe each of your rooms for you, though. Zippo and Ulrich, you step into a room, and immediately as the door closes, the air rushes out of it. You're left in an airless chamber, unable to breathe any further air. Amethyst, you're in an area with seemingly a pit in front of you. To the center of this 20-foot space across the pit is a dragon statue facing you, its eyes glowing a fiery red. The statue seems to be made out of stone, and it seems to be obscured slightly by something within 10 feet of you. Belzian, you are in a room that is quite low ceilinged. You see that there's a block immediately in front of you, and a block to either side of that. There are handles on each side of the block itself, as well as handles on the blocks further back. All right. Since Amethyst was the first to attempt a door, I'm going to start with Amethyst, and we'll work our way from there. We'll roll a D2 to see who goes next after that. Amethyst, welcome to the skilled chamber. Can I take your order?
Well, we're going to start by looking around.
Okay.
And specifically, I'm going to take the spear out of my pack and start tapping the floor on this side.
Okay. Please indicate what areas you tap.
I'm going to start with this corner here. And then move around clockwise those 5 squares.
Okay. Tap all you like. There doesn't seem to be any things that trigger based on you pushing on those squares.
Okay. I'll move over and check the final 2.
Okay. Same thing.
Can I make a perception check to see what it is that's obscuring the dragon statue?
Sure. So along the edge of the area that you see, the along the brink of that basically pit in front of you, there seems to be a thin membrane of some sort.
Interesting.
You can see through it very easily.
And that membrane reaches all the way up to the ceiling, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Can I tell what it's made out of?
Not really.
Okay, so it's not obviously like mesh or cloth.
No.
I will poke at it with the spear.
Okay.
As high up as I can reach with it.
Okay, so are you making an attack?
Not really. I'm just kind of touching it. I'm not trying to like stab it.
Okay. The membrane seems to catch on the spear and be pushed by it as you push it slightly. It doesn't seem to tear.
Interesting.
It stretches though.
Stretchy. Well, I guess I will stab at it with the spear and try and puncture it.
Okay.
Do you want me to make an attack roll?
Yes, please. Are you throwing it or just stabbing?
Just stabbing. I'm holding on to the spear.
Okay.
That hits armor class 9.
All right. The membrane kind of stands firm against your spear as you try and hit through it. And your spear basically can't penetrate it. You kind of like almost get the wind knocked out of you as you go to stab it with your strength, and it seems to like be unyielding, almost a little bit more firm, like as if you were like stabbing a wall with this larger object.
Interesting. Well, I will move up close to it and just gently touch it with my hand.
Okay. So what's the reach of your spear, by the way?
It's a normal spear. It's not a long spear, so like 5 feet.
So you would have had to have moved up to attack anyway, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. As you come into contact with the membrane, the statue across the way, its mouth, which was wide in a roaring fashion, emits a cone of fire at you. Make a reflex save.
Hooray, dexterity saves. My specialty. 25.
Okay, you make the save, and since you, so do you have evasion yet?
I do.
Okay, so it wouldn't even be half damage; it would be 0 damage.
0.
Cool. There's a reason you chose the skilled door.
Is the membrane still intact?
Yes, the fire seemed to have gone right through it.
That's inconvenient. You said it was, when I tried to use brute force on it, it was kind of firm and unyielding.
Yes.
I wonder, fire goes right through it, huh? Actually have anything that I would assume that means I can't light it on fire. When I put my hand on it, did it seem to put any like pressure, or was
you put your hand on it like this?
Yeah.
Okay. The hand, when you pushed on it with your hand, it seemed to bend slightly. Kind of think of it like cellophane, for lack of a better term, and not in like, in terms of like when you pushed on it, it feels like it stretches a bit, but it's not like as weak as cellophane, obviously.
Gotcha. Interesting. Um, this is supposed to be a test of skill, huh? Well, what if I'm gonna take out some oil and try and light it on fire?
Okay. So you're lighting a pot of oil on fire. You're pouring oil on the ground and lighting it on fire. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'll pour some oil on the ground up against the membrane here.
Okay.
I'll empty a pound flask of oil on it right at the edge of the pit here and light that on fire.
Okay. The oil gathers at the membrane but doesn't go through. And then you light it on fire.
Yep.
The fire burns where the oil is.
Does the membrane seem to be burning?
No, just the oil.
Hmm. Well, I guess I'll let the oil burn out.
Okay.
Um,
Think on that for a second. I'm going to let Benji out. All right, go ahead.
um, hmm. I guess I can take a dagger and try and cut the membrane.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try and just slice through it slowly and not violently.
Okay. Make an attack. Or you, I guess it's not an attack. You're just kind of methodically trying to poke at it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The small blade punctures into the membrane. It seems like it doesn't bend when it's the small of the blade going through. Of course, it does trigger another fire. So please make a reflex save.
Yep. More dexterity saves. 26.
You're good.
Roger is aware that he is good.
Um,
That's why he took this door.
So you were able to push the dagger through, but the membrane closes itself up as soon as you remove the dagger to dodge out of the way.
That's inconvenient.
Would you like to think?
Yeah, I'd like some time to think about this one.
Sure. All right. I'm gonna roll a d4. Odds are Belzian. Evens are Zippo and Ulrich. All right, evens it is. Zippo and Ulrich, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What is your Constitution modifiers, please?
+4.
Okay,
Plus
Zippo.
3.
Okay, so with no air, you have 4 and 3 minutes of air before you start to choke. And then when you start to choke, you have a number of rounds equal to your Constitution modifier before you start, succumbing. It's called suffocating, folks.
Isn't it +1 plus your con mod minutes?
1 plus, yeah, so 5 and 4, excuse me.
Okay. That actually might matter. Zippo's like so I'm assuming we still think in the rings, right? Without having to talk while we're holding our breath.
Yeah.
Okay, in the ring to Ulrich, Zippo's like, well, you probably have to run through this.
Yep, that sounds about right. Ulrich is gonna pick Zippo up in his arm and start running.
Okay.
Is there like a particular thing you want us to do, or just move through the?
Yeah, feel free to move. So how fast are you going through?
I mean, Ulrich
You're
will
going to
take
speed?
Yeah, I mean, he will take the dash action.
Okay.
Aside from, yeah, I mean, this is a rush job, right?
Yeah. So I'm just measuring out how. So dash should be an extra 15 or an extra 30.
Extra 30.
So well, I mean, if I am carrying, what's your movement speed, Zippo?
30.
Okay, I mean, like, I think after a second,
Yeah,
I
you
might
kind of
realize
just
that,
grab his hand and you're dragging him along. And you're
yeah,
not really...
that like actually carrying him doesn't work. So it would be 60 total if I do a dash, and I'm not actually dragging him.
Okay, so 1 round here, 2 rounds, and then you get to an opening. All right, so before you lays a pool of water. The water is dark and murky. There's a wall over, well, if I had my pointer out, a wall on this side. The wall itself is goes from ceiling and down into the water. You can't see anything from there.
I think Ulrich would note that as he passes by, but okay, so I just wanted to make sure. Never mind, he wouldn't pass by. If he sees no, like, path forward aside from this, he'll go in.
Okay. So the room itself seems to be mainly a small bank on one side, and then water that fills up to the rim. With the water sloshing, it sometimes splashes up over and onto the stone itself. The water is a murky gray. It is not able to be seen through.
I think Ulrich would go into the water. I mean, only path seems to be forward.
Okay. So that would be an athletics to swim, right? Because we don't have swim checks anymore.
Whatever you want.
I'm just trying to recall swimming in this.
Oh, it's like if you don't have a swim speed, it's like difficult terrain, more or less.
Okay. I hear some noises downstairs of some fighting, so 1 second. Whoever wins this dungeon gets my cats.
I'm good. Not that I don't think they're cute. Just don't need another cat.
Yeah.
Is shipping included?
No, you pay for shipping. All right, so
Okay,
murky water is 10-foot visibility to notice an encounter, and then half movement, so it would be 15. Okay. Okay. So you slip into the water. Zippo, are you joining?
Yeah, Zippo jumping as well.
Okay. Ulrich, you notice immediately that the water is quite deep.
I mean,
Like, you can't touch the bottom. In fact, you're kind of struggling to stay above the surface with your weight, being in armor and whatnot. You're kind of having to hold on to the edge so that you don't sink. Zippo, obviously the water's even more deep for you.
Yeah. Let's see. Zippo is going to looking at so it's like super deep water, right?
Yeah. Like you can't see the bottom.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, Zippo's going to tell Auric to trust me, and he's going to twin the spell polymorph on us and turn us both into giant sharks.
Okay. Twinning it. How many arcane
Let's
are
see.
you using for? Because that's a 4th level spell, correct?
Yeah.
And you can twin 4th level spells.
You can spend sorcery points equal to a spell's level, 1 for a cantrip, to target a second creature in range with the same spell as long as the spell at the level being cast. As long as the spell at the level it's being cast is incapable of targeting more than one creature, is all it says. And polymorph can only target one creature. So.
Cool. So you're using 4 sorcery points for that?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll put you in the water. You both turn into sharks.
Okay. We have 60-foot blinds sight and 50-foot swim speed.
Okay. With your blind sight, you sense there are walls beneath you that kind of meander through the dark water. The water goes at least out past your blind sight down. So it's more than 60 feet
And
deep.
just to confirm, we can breathe this water, right?
Yes, you can.
Perfect.
It's uncomfortable, but it's breathable. Your bodies are used to salt water.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I mean, proceed down, right?
All right. With the spell kind of assisting you to navigate down, you descend into the depths, meandering to and from the maze of walls that are in the murky water. You go down 70 feet before you sense to above you as you're going down a 10-foot area where the wall kind of stops before it reaches the bottom, and you're able to go through that and come back up to the other side. The other side also has some walls that you have to navigate, but you're able to do so fairly quickly, and of course you're able to breathe at this point, being sharks. So you make it to the other side. You do see a door there, just at the edge of the water, up at the same level the other opening was, in the opposite chamber.
I guess if we retain our minds and can do the thinking, Ulrich would just say...
I don't believe you're going to be able to communicate via rings.
Okay, that's fine.
No, but seeing the door, the boat, obviously as a shark, he can't open the door.
No.
So, just gonna take a deep breath as the shark and drop the polymorphs when he gets right next to the door, or right next to the edge, so he can kind of...
You can control polymorph even in the polymorph form, correct?
Pretty sure.
You just end concentration.
It would just be funny if you were stuck there until the duration. Like, just twiddle our fins, right? All right. So you drop the polymorph for both you and Ulrich. You are on the other side of the. You're on the surface of the water on the other side. Feel free to open the door if you'd like and head on through. By the way, you still cannot breathe, so you're now holding your breath again.
Okay. But does our timer reset?
Yes.
Perfect.
All right, you're in a room with 8 bottles sitting on the table in front of you. but we are, instead of going from there, going over to our third room, since you've achieved this section. Fair?
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right. Belzian.
Just for the record, sharks are pretty cool.
Thank you. Linton.
There's blocks in here.
Yep.
You said they might have handles.
So there's a block in front of you, a block here, and a block here. All three of which have handles. The block in front of the door has 3, one on each of the 3 sides that you can see.
Oh, is there a handle directly to the east here?
Yes. Or,
Like, am I able to push this block towards the right?
you can, yes.
Bruh.
All right. So let me do that for you. So this is going to be an interesting one because I'm going to have to be in a different layer, but that's going to be fine because just make sure you're not looking at the map in the stream. All right. So you move the block. Actually, give me a strength check. Excuse me.
This is the strong room?
Yes. Okay, perfect. There you go. It moves to the right.
Out of character. I played all those tricky rock puzzles in the Pokemon games, so I got this.
All right.
So the way should be cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you have a block here, a block here, a block here, and a block here.
I can't see where you're clicking on my screen.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. I would
You can
reckon
kind
the
of-
spots that are obscured with darkness are where the blocks are.
Correct. Yes.
Oh. So, yeah, Pokemon skills for the win. Except now there's nowhere to go. Can I push the block on my left? Left.
You try and push it. Go, give me a strength check, please. So you're saying to the west, right?
Yes. Would you prefer those kind of directions? Or
Left and right's
relative?
fine. Left, right, up, down is fine.
Yeah.
The block does not budge.
Perhaps this one's just really strong. And I just pushed that one. Can I push the one on the right to the right?
Sure. It does not budge.
Oh no. Okay. Well, how about the one above me up?
Okay.
Ooh, do they have handles on them as if they could be pulled?
Yes.
Okay. I'll try pushing this one. If the thing will roll. Here we go.
It does not budge. Does seem to want to move, but you can't push it enough.
Can I push harder?
You can try. Yeah. How far you want to push it? You push it 5
One
feet.
space. Yeah, 5 feet.
All right.
What's in here?
So block.
I can't help but feel like some kind of rat in a cage. Oh, can I push the one below me down?
Sure.
Wow.
Doesn't budge. Yeah, it does.
Well, this is kind of fun. Now, Belzian feels like he could probably stay in here all day and just push the blocks into funny patterns. The one directly above me, can I try pulling it?
Which one are you trying to pull?
The one above me.
Sure. Go ahead and try and pull.
Try harder than that, Belzian. Come on now.
Okay, it pulls back one. I'm gonna pull you as well. You're gonna need to move as
Ah,
well.
I
ahead
am in a
and-
block. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, move back. All right.
Where did it go? Oh, that.
So
Oh.
how far did you want to pull it? One block.
I think I could only move it one block.
So you were here. If you move up your character one. So you were there pulling this block. And if you move back one, you pulled it this way.
I see. Okay. Can I push this one down another 5 feet?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a roll. There you go.
Hopefully these don't have to be pushed onto any switches or anything like that. Once read a tale, a legend, if you will, about a guy who always tried to save a princess, but he always had to push blocks around. Really messed with the pacing of his adventures. Okay, I want to pull the left one 2 spaces back, if I can.
Okay.
Pelzian's getting hungry here.
All right, you move it back. Go ahead and move back one. And you said 2, so go ahead and move 2 back, actually.
It's like that time when we rearranged the entire library that he used to work at, had to move all the bookshelves because they adopted the Dewey Decimal System.
As soon as you let go of it, it snaps back into place right here.
What? Huh? Well then. Is there a block to my right, or is this just a 3-wide hallway?
It's a 3-wide hallway.
Okay, so this is like a wall as opposed to a block of
Correct.
some sort?
Yeah, there's no handle there.
Okay, there's a handle up, though.
Correct.
Well, let's give that one a push.
Okay.
What do we see here? More handles? More blocks?
There's a handle to your left. You don't think you'd be able to like pull from the side. You can either push or pull.
I see, because there would be no space to put me. I'm not sure if we tried pushing this one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it doesn't budge.
Sorry for flooding the chat here
You're fine.
with strength check. So this one up here doesn't want to be pulled, and it doesn't want to be pushed.
Correct.
Yet it still has a handle on it.
Well, you were able to pull it one. It was one forward more. It doesn't seem to. Oh, okay. You know what? Actually, so yeah, you were able to push it one, and it stops there.
Oh, I see. Belzian is having too much fun with this. He's just running back and forth, looking at all sides of these blocks. I think pushing this middle block to the right is the move.
Okay.
All in a day's work. Okay. Am I surrounded by handles?
Yes.
Can I push up on the up block?
You can give it a shot. It doesn't budge.
Perhaps it's one of those pull blocks. 1, 2. Is it possible to try to pull it 3 spaces down, because I need room to get through there myself?
All right, you try and pull it, and it does not pull either.
Ugh. This one that I moved up or moved to the right previously, can I give that one a pull again?
You can pull it,
Or
sure.
move- Yeah, or try to
So
pull.
right now you've pulled this one and this one. I don't know if you can see my flashes or not.
I cannot.
Okay. You've pulled and pushed the one to the left and the right.
Like if
Yeah.
you numbered the columns like 1, 2, and 3, would that be like the 1 and the 3?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking, can I pull this 3 so that I can try pushing or pulling that 3?
Yeah, you could try that.
Yeah.
Okay. Move back 1. Bam. You have reset where that was.
I think in order to do more of that, I need to push that one more time
Okay.
to the left. This block is just getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah, you're getting tired.
Maybe I'll eat some rations and try harder.
Okay. All right, it moves.
Tastes like hardtack. Yum yum. And now, can I try to pull
Sure.
the one to the north or up? Pull the up down.
Was that an 18?
As an 18.
There you go.
Boop. Ah.
Handle is on the right hand side too, on 3, where you are.
Oh, there's a handle here in the wall?
No, on 3, on the 3rd block.
Here?
Yeah.
Well, I can push that one. Let's see what happens. No, I cannot push that one.
Try as you might, it doesn't seem to budge. Even with a good hearty push.
Maybe it's a pull. So I'll have to make some room by pushing the one below me down again.
All right, it pushes down.
I'm so strong. Look at this chat. I'm going to take a screenshot. Ignore that one. Okay, I'll try to pull this one now that there's room for
Sure.
it.
Doesn't seem to budge.
Now the handle on it, is it any different than the other handles?
No.
Let's try pulling number 2 here.
Okay. You've tried that one before.
Did I pull it or push it?
You tried both.
Oh, okay. Did I try moving this one yet?
Yeah, that's the one that rubber banded back in place when you pulled it more than one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try pulling it one.
Okay.
Although actually I don't know what that would achieve. So this one here is not the one that rubber banded.
Correct.
Maybe we'll pull that one down
Okay.
to allow some room. Oof.
All right.
There we
Move
go.
back one.
Hurrah. Well, the links in this puzzle are starting to come together. I'll try to pull the rubber bandy one to the right.
Okay. There you go.
And it stays?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to say over the rings. How are the blocks treating you, fellas? That good, hey? Very good. They must be tired from pushing all their blocks around. Does this seem to be just more blocks?
So there was no handles on the. Let me draw for you. There was no handles here or here. Oh, that's
Just like a hallway kind of thing?
yeah, but on the far side, let me get out lighting and go to objects and tokens. Here is a handle, and here is a handle, as well as here and here. And then you see this is a big block with a handle in the middle of it.
Is there something right here, or just a weird lighting
It
thing?
seems like it's a wall.
Okay. That's a big boy. Is that like obviously one big block?
Yes.
Hmm. Can I try pushing this one down?
You can. You notice that there's a little bit of space that you can squeeze past the big block on the right hand side of the block. As a heads up.
Is there like a Belzian amount of space?
Yeah, you'd be able to fit.
Can I try to squeeze into that little passageway? Because that's exciting.
Yeah, you can.
Is it like normal standing space or like squeeze space?
It's a normal standing space. It's like you'd squeeze. You'd have to like, you'd basically be able to shimmy past it. And that's about it.
Hopefully the block doesn't try to move on its own. Can I anchor myself against the wall on the right and like super push the big block with like, I don't know what that would be called when you're like using the wall as like an anchor.
You can give it a shot. Doesn't seem to budge with any of those attempts.
I only did one, so I'll give it one more. No, okay.
Yeah.
I will shimmy back out.
Okay.
Looking down the narrowness between the block and the wall, is there anything on the other side of the big block?
There's a wall on the far side.
So the big block doesn't appear to be covering anything.
Um, you're not sure if it's covering anything from the 2 block square it kind of occupies.
Okay. Hmm. Can I try pushing this one up?
You could try.
That's all I can do.
Yep.
I'm trying my best here.
So you're pushing it toward the big block.
Yes.
All right, you seal off that passage and push the big block up against, or a small block up against the big block.
Maybe they are father and child. This one here has a handle. Can I try to pull it up?
You can. Doesn't seem to budge. Similar description as before. It seems to be you're pushing with or pulling with all your might, but you don't seem to be able to get it to go.
Can I push it for good measure? Good measure, just to see what happens.
Even with a natural 20, you don't seem to be able to push it. And I mean, you've kind of seen the other side of these 2 blocks, right? There's the 5-foot block on the other side that you tried to push and pull, right? So that kind of gives you an idea as to why.
I say there's a little something there.
Yeah.
Belsian's wise, not smart. Will this one pull? Can I pull this one on the bottom up?
You can try.
I'm
Even with a natural 20, it doesn't seem to be able to pull.
just going to leave those ones alone for now. I guess I can try pushing the big block here.
Okay. Doesn't seem to budge.
Whoa.
All right, you push the big block and move it slightly, and you can see that there is a door that you can see you can see 5 inches of as the block is pushed to the right some. That being said, you're hard pressed to kind of squeeze through.
I turn sideways and measure myself. Am I 5 inches wide?
No.
Ah.
It seems like it's not flush with the wall on the other side, even though you pushed it against the wall. So it doesn't let you through. You just now see where the door is.
Is the door on the up wall or the right side?
It's on the up wall.
Up wall. Perhaps I have to pull it away from the wall and sneak through. I figure 5 feet would give me enough to get through.
Probably.
Okay. I'm gonna have to undo some work here. This block in the 3 column that I moved there.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pull it down and then go around to the other side and push it all the way back to here?
All right, it moves back. Go ahead and move back.
Oop.
Okay, keep going. All right, there you go.
Belzian and my mouse finger are getting a workout here. Okay, looking for clearance. Try to find the best handle to grab and pull the big block. Come on, Megamite.
All right. You managed to pull the block. Are you pulling it 5 feet?
Yes.
All right.
Or
Back
enough.
up.
Because I think we're only working in 5-foot increments here. Now, I don't know if it's a trick of the light or how the room was designed, because this raid here is showing as like a wall.
Yep, that's a
Like
wall.
Oh, so the one passage is blocked?
Yes.
Okay. Is there still enough room to shimmy through there? Did I push it up against the wall?
You push it up against the wall. So you see like a little hint of space on the left-hand side of the big block where you can kind of just make out that you've opened up the passage and you can see the door. It's just beyond reach. If only you could, teleport or do some cool things like that.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough room to squeeze through, even if I do some cool wall running.
I'll let you think on that. I'm going to get back into the middle if that's cool.
Oh yeah, thanks for the blocks.
Of course. All right. Roger. Welcome back.
I'm here, and so is the membrane. Neither of us have gone anywhere. Well, so touching it sets off the fire, and pushing against it doesn't seem to do much. Violent force results in it becoming stiff and repelling that kind of attack and setting off the fire trap. It can be punctured, but immediately heals itself and sets off the fire trap.
So the only violent force you used against it was the spear, correct? The dagger was kind of a slow force.
Yeah. I mean, I can take the rapier and just try and punch a hole through it that way.
Okay. You make an attack?
Yep.
Okay. It pierces right through it. Very easily. It heals around the item. Doesn't like cling to it, but like it closes back up. Kind of goes taut. But you have the rapier sticking through. Make a reflex.
Yep. 22.
Okay. You could also choose not to do a reflex if you would like to keep the weapon in, or you can tell me that you let go of the weapon to keep it into the membrane. But I assume if you're doing a dodge and holding onto the weapon, that you're pulling it out to get out of the way of the fire.
I could just try to jump through.
Do you try?
Yeah, I don't have any other ideas.
Okay. Are you taking a running start, or are you just kind of leaping from where you are? And where's your intended destination of landing?
I'll...
Because remember, this is a pit.
Can I see how deep the pit is?
You cannot.
All right. I'm gonna probably get a running start from this back corner, aiming for there roughly.
Okay. So that's gonna be what it's gonna be like diagonally. It's like a 20-foot jump, right? Kind of. Or is that 15 still?
I believe the way that.
Yeah, it'll be 20.
I could just run straight and.
It would still be 20.
Yeah, no, we'll just do it diagonally then. Why not? Give me my run-in start. And jump into / through the membrane.
Okay. You go to kind of dodge and jump across with all your might, but you hit the membrane and it repels you, activating the trap as well. Give me a reflex save.
I'll fail one of these eventually.
You kind of like flip through the air as you're trying to land like a cat, kind of twisting around that fire and landing on your feet.
Yep, that's what I expected to happen with that. What can I see beyond the membrane on the other side?
Let's see what you can see. You can see kind of an open hallway that leads to a set of brass gears that are set into the floor. I'll also, just for your benefit, mark where the statue is.
Okay. So the membrane automatically seems to heal whenever it is punctured, which is not too terribly hard to do. But any kind of blunt force or insufficient force just shoves you back in. And it can take my entire weight without too much trouble. And it lets fire pass through it harmlessly. About how tall is the ceiling here?
20 feet.
Does the membrane look like it goes all the way up to the ceiling?
It does.
And the fire, when the statue spits out the cone of fire, it hits basically the whole height of the room.
Yes.
Or no?
It's in a cone. It's in a 15-foot cone. So it kind of spreads out to cover... Well, I guess it would be a 20-foot cone. It spreads out to cover the whole of your landing up. So it kind of goes out in every direction.
Gotcha.
15 foot out so that it reaches that 20-foot area. Yeah. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It covers everything. There's no safe spot to just keep poking the thing from.
Like I saw.
Well, I could trigger the trap continuously forever with an immovable rod. That doesn't seem super useful, though. I mean, I guess I'll stab it with the dagger and with the intent to leave the dagger in there after the trap triggers.
Okay. The point of the dagger goes through, and it seems to close or catch around the dagger as the thicker part of the dagger kind of tries to penetrate it, and it catches, and you let it go, it'll stay in there as you try and do another flip for the fire activation.
18 this time.
Yep, you make it.
All right.
It doesn't seem to continue to activate, though.
Well, that's convenient. When I jumped in there, about how far did I get in before the membrane pushed me back?
It kind of yielded maybe 3 inches. So quite
So not-
taut.
Okay. Well, there goes the plan of just hug it with an immovable rod, lock one into place, and then push it out further and place another one.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be able to stretch that much. Yeah.
Huh. Well, I could try and stick all of my daggers in here, but I think that is going to be an exercise in statistics that'll start reducing my life total. And not making significant progress on getting through this. If I grab the dagger and try and pull it down, does that result in like cutting the membrane and leaving a gap, or does it seal that up really fast also?
You trying that?
Yes.
All right. It seals up and the dagger kind of comes out. It doesn't seem to keep that resistance as you try and push it down. Almost like it's trying to force it out. Like that force to push it in was what kept it in when it closed. But when you try and push it down, you're opening up the hole and it kind of comes out. Think of it like if you were trying to use a knife to slide down a sail by slicing it. When you'd hit that reinforced mark on the sail, you'd catch and kind of fly out, or catch and break your arms, right?
Yeah.
Mythbusters, taught us that wouldn't be able to happen. Interestingly enough, the statue didn't activate. Its mouth's still open, its eyes still glow red, but it didn't breathe fire at you when you pulled out the dagger.
Well, yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that. Well, and the walls of this place are made of stone, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna try and drive a python into the stone walls near the near where the membrane is, but on my side of it.
Somewhere like here?
Yeah, sure. We'll relocate Roger to the corner there and take some time and drive a python into the wall.
Okay.
Up close to the membrane, but not quite touching it.
Sure. You're able to do so.
Okay. If I pull that python out of the wall, can I see if like the membrane is extending into the wall?
So you're trying to kind of see where the membrane ends.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it adjacent to the membrane, you don't see any membrane in the rock when you when you cut it away.
All right, boys, we have a plan. So I want to cut away enough of the rock that I can maybe snake something around the outside of the membrane.
Okay.
And I'm willing to take however long that would take to do with a hammer and a python.
Sure. So are you? I just kind of need to feel this out some. So you're kind of chipping away at this rock wall in such a way that you're making a hole where the rock is still connected to the wall, and you're trying to circumnavigate hand width around.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be hand width. Just kind of a very, very shallow hole.
Okay. I'm going
leaving-
to point out a few things with this. One, yes, it is going to take a while. Two, you're able to go into the rock, but you're going to be hard pressed to return trip it so that you kind of burrow out around to the other side without making a substantial indent into the wall itself. You see what I'm saying there? Because you need that purchase to be able to, go around and then have enough space to be able to dig away at that wall. This, I'm talking like hours to. And so you have the python. You're using a hammer, a small hammer.
Yeah, I've got a small hammer.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take quite a while. Like, you would have to dig out a good portion of the area, maybe like a 3-foot circle, so that you can actually get that hole the way you need it to be on the other side.
3 feet. The hammer's not that big.
To wind back to make enough momentum for you to break rock, you're gonna need a lot of space for that, I would say.
I understand out of character what you're saying is try something different.
No. I mean, it's not even that. It's I mean, fair, yes, but also like, think of it like when I swing a hammer.
As somebody who has chipped rock with metal tools, hardness matters, and metal wins.
Well, that's fair, depending on the rock. This is a hard rock.
Again, hardness matters. Metal usually wins that one.
Yeah.
But I'll take a different approach. I'm just not really sure what the possible solution could be. I feel like I've tried all of the obvious things, and that's why we're reaching into attempt to break the scenario.
Yeah, that's fair.
We can't. Puncturing doesn't accomplish anything aside from needing to make reflex saves. Cutting doesn't accomplish anything. Attempting to jump through doesn't accomplish anything. I can't produce any energy except for fire, which the membrane ignores. And the membrane can't be cut, or at least can't be cut with the tools that I have. So.
Also, the statue is out of reach because it is 15 feet away.
Yep. Well, I've got this mummified goblin hand. We can try and poke the membrane with that.
Would you like to do an insight check?
Sure.
Okay.
Hold up just one second.
Or I guess it would be an investigation, maybe.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I said it might be an investigation instead of an insight. Insight's usually for people.
22 for looking around.
Sure. So you notice a few things. One, it seems like the statue has a hinge at its base, where the pit meets the statue. The hinge is toward you, not away from you. The statue seems to always have glowing eyes, even when it is not exhibiting fire, and the eyes seem to be watching you and follow you. The red eyes kind of are just glowing balls of light that kind of swivel as you have moved throughout the passage.
So you say it's got a hinge on the base?
Yes.
Interesting. So I'm gonna. How fast does the membrane close up?
Fast enough to catch your dagger before it reaches the end, but your dagger gets wider as it goes, so it's pretty quick on that way. But your rapier, you were able to put your rapier all the way through, and it's just a thin line.
Yeah. I mean, about how big of a hole have I been able to make with all the tests that I've done?
Maybe like an inch and a half.
And the hole stays there, or does it?
It closes up once the thing has stopped penetrating it.
I'm gonna try again with the rapier, and this time I'll let the rapier stay in when I dodge, assuming it shoots fire at me.
Okay. Go ahead and make a reflex save.
Not today, statistics.
Okay. Your rapier goes through, up to the hilt. It's poking through. It's not far enough to reach the dragon statue, and it eyes you menacingly. And
I'll take.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
And you now have a sword in the membrane.
All right. I'm gonna take my crowbar.
Okay.
And try and loop the hook around the membrane itself using that hole that I've dug. I'm not afraid of damaging the sword because the sword's magical and the crowbar isn't.
Right.
So am I able to get the kind of crowbar hooked around the membrane?
Yeah, I would say you can.
I'm gonna try pulling it in towards me instead of pushing it out.
Okay. It has the same amount of yield as pushing it, but it does bend toward you. The hole doesn't seem to get too much wider. It's now out to 2 inches instead of an inch and a half. It seems to want to close, but your pressure of pulling it is keeping it open.
All right, so I've got sword in one hand, crowbar in the other, and am I able to pull them apart to make the hole bigger? Or is it too tight
not really.
for that?
I mean, that's what kind of you're trying to do right now, right? Okay. By pulling it, it doesn't seem to widen much more.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to pull the membrane in towards me, not the hole wider.
Yeah. So either way,
Gotcha.
That action would usually tear something, right? Especially with that incision, and it didn't tear then. And even when you try and widen it by like trying to go like this to wedge it apart, it's kind of hard to do so.
Yeah. With there being a hole in the membrane now, can I see a little more clearly what's going on with the statue?
In what way? What do you mean?
What is the hinge attached to? Which direction does it look like it should open?
So it seems like the hinge is a big hinge that's attached to the statue. Presumably, the statue might be some sort of bridge where the statue would come forward and be able to be tread across to get across the pit. It's that wide of a hinge.
Well, if I could get rid of this membrane, I could probably pull that down.
You can see that the statue is larger than 15 feet. Like tall. So if it were to hinge down, the head would probably come down about where the edge is and fall into place there.
Gotcha.
Its horns kind of latching it into place.
Well, if I didn't have to use both of my hands to hold this open, I could probably try to attack that.
Attack it with what?
I could shoot it with an arrow, or I could just try and lasso it with my grappling hook. And pull it down, but that would require hands, and mine are occupied.
Okay.
I'll. Okay. I'm gonna pull the crowbar out and see if I can snake an immovable rod into the hole.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that.
All right. And I'll pull it apart as much as I can.
All right, so you have that 2-inch gap that we talked about.
And I'll lock it in place.
Okay.
And then, still holding the other side with the crowbar, I'll pull out the other removable rod and
Okay, you do so.
lock that in place, and I'll take my small 2-inch hole here.
Yep.
Is there any ground on the outside of this ledge?
No.
No. And 2 inches is way too small for me to sneak through.
Do you want to initiate your plan of trying to shoot at the statue?
I could always try.
Okay.
Sure, we can throw some arrows into the abyss. On the dungeon master's advice. Yeah, I'll aim at the statue's eyes, I guess.
Okay.
I don't think the arrows are going to do any damage to the hinge, and if it's going our way, then we're supposed to fall in this direction, then that won't be super useful. Actually, if I tie the grappling hook to some rope, can I attach like that to an arrow and shoot across?
I would say that would be a hard shot.
Yeah, my assumption is that'd be very heavy and difficult.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think the grappling hook would be able to fit through that 2-inch hole.
Well, we can work it through the hole and attach it to the arrow on the outside.
I would say that would be a fool's errand. Because you only have one hook shot, right?
It's attached to a rope. I can just grab
Oh,
pull it back.
that's That's fair.
Um. All right, we'll do the we'll shoot the statue in the eye
Okay.
first with an arrow that doesn't have any grappling hook attached to it.
Okay.
23.
Your arrow pierces the eye and the light goes out.
I'll shoot the other eye. 17.
Your arrow pierces the eye, the light goes out, the statue shudders and falls forward. As it falls forward and hits the membrane tears and dissipates, and it falls into place. On the back of the statue appears to be some sort of rod. Actually, hold on. Let me correct myself. Were you shooting from here or from the center?
I'm shooting from the side.
Okay, perfect.
Oh.
Yep, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that the immovable rods weren't getting hit by the statue, right? All right, so in the middle of the back of the statue is a rod sticking up out of it. It seems to be in the bridge that is now before you. I'll make one for you. And go from there.
I'll collect my my 2 immovable rods from the open air where they're now hanging.
Yeah.
And check out that check out the rod in the middle of the bridge.
Sure. All right. The rod in the middle of the bridge seems to have 2 kind of extents, not indents, it doesn't go in, it goes out, with 2 hinges at the top of it. And it seems to be embedded into the statue itself.
Sorry, can you describe that again? I'm having trouble
Sure.
wrapping my head around what that looks
So,
like.
a cylinder with 2. You know how like pens have the like pen caps have this little
Gotcha.
thing here? There's one on either side,
Interesting.
but it's kind of all the way up to here, and with a
Okay.
hinge at the end.
Well, out of curiosity, I will stand on the other side of it, facing the direction that I have to go in,
Okay.
and I'll try and lift up those little hinges.
Okay. They lift up and form a T and lock into place.
This looks like a thing to rotate, like handles to turn something. So I'm gonna try and turn it.
Okay. Which direction?
You know what? Let's start going clockwise.
Okay. It doesn't seem to turn.
We'll try the other way.
It seems to unscrew and come up more and more until it pops out of the back of the statue.
Cool. Is there anything in the socket underneath it?
Just a riveted area where it was screwed in.
Sweet. I'll take this with me.
All right. So from there, it is just about 11 o'clock. I don't know if anybody can stay any later. I know we started late. If anybody wants to stay later, we can continue next time. Let's just check in on the group. It would be Zippo and Ulrich next.
As much as I would certainly love to stay later, I can't.
Yeah, I figured as much. I just wanted to check before I said let's end it. So we will be back in, I would like to say 2 weeks, but being how this session went and how late we started, I'll open it up into chat and see what we want to do. If we want to do something a little different to kind of make up for the fact that today we were a little delayed or whatnot. I don't know what people's availability is for next week, next Tuesday, but we can check on that and talk. But the next official session that we have planned is the 18th. That being said, we were planning on doing our Saturday session the 22nd, which is the Saturday after that. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm talking about front loading an additional session at some point before the 18th, but we can talk. We can always delay the Saturday session if we need to. So, all right. So, everyone out there in Twitchland, thanks for joining us. It was a fun session. Excellent work working on these puzzles, folks. And we will see you when we see you. Any last questions before we end for tonight?
Nope.
No, but thank you so much.
All right.
How fun was that? Very fun.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one, everyone. Be safe, be well, be excellent. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.